before we break to talk about what you learned, we need to stop and talk about somebody who's really, really important that we lost this year. And that would be Mr. Erick James. When there was nothing, at different points, various people showed up. They showed up and committed themselves to this when there was no reason to commit, and I am humbled beyond humbled for the faith that people have had in us when there was nothing. Whether it was Bob Kennedy at the University of Maine, or Roger Kilmer, or Amy, where is she? People, and I could keep going through the list, and the list, and the list, and the list, all over here. You folks came and believed. Well, Erick was one of those that was in the really early days. And we lost Erick this year. You may know of Erick from this video.
Here's the easiest way I know to answer the question, how does innovation engineering work? Think of your organization like a pipeline. At the front of that pipeline, we have ideas for growth, lots of ideas. They can be whole ideas, parts of ideas. They can be ideas for products, services, process improvements, new markets, new sales tags, new marketing ideas. These ideas exist in our brains. Innovation engineering uses create tools to take those ideas from our brains and capture them, whether they're current or new ideas. Then we define them. We start to bring greater clarity to some of our ideas by using the innovation engineering communicate tools to focus on what problem does this idea solve? Who has that problem? What is the benefit promise, and what is the proof that it's going to work? Next, we want to discover whether an idea has value for our organization. We select a couple ideas that we think have promise, and then we use innovation engineering communicate and commercialize tools to gain clarity on the concept, the math model, and to address death threats by using fail fast, fail cheap cycles of learning. The goal in this phase is to either kill our ideas or confidently move them into the development phase. We continue using the communicate and commercialize tools to increase speed and decrease risk. In develop, that's where we figure out the intricate details of the idea, the specifics. We want to spend 2/3 of our time in develop and 1/3 of our time in discover, and about 95% of our money in develop and 5% in the discover phase. In develop, we can use any number of tools, lean product development, stage gate, design for Six Sigma, or fail fast, fail cheap. Finally, we deliver our innovation with increased speed and decreased risk. This is how innovation engineering works. It creates an organizational structure that allows you to process ideas and innovations. It's just like a manufacturing pulse system that transforms raw material into products. You now have a way to transform raw ideas into realities in a way that is consistent with you and your company.
Erick, it was a great loss. It was a monstrous loss. He was much of the soul, and he was also a stand-up comedian, lots of different things with Erick. At a conference we were at in Florida, May 6th, he started talking about an idea.
Reflecting your unique musical vision. Introducing the visual sound guitar, the first acoustic guitar to promise a visual effect as well as great sound. Here's how it works. An ultra-thin retina display changes the design as we play.
You gotta play air guitar for me to listen.
Okay. So as we're playing, and it could change the design. You know, we could have designs really see, we're excited about this idea because this is the type of innovation that could make you the #1 premier guitar maker in the U.S. And really, it's this type of innovation, this type of meaningful, unique thinking that is going to make the U.S. #1 manufacturing.
Eric, I'm proud to announce the Erick James Making a Difference Award, given to those who go above and beyond to help others. Eric would make videos, meditations. He would spend hours with people. He was prone to driving 2 or 3 hours to go spend time with somebody who needed some help. If you needed help, Eric was there. He wasn't well from the accident and different things. He came in here by video to conferences and did it. But man, this guy bleeded for this organization and this culture. But what he did that no one else, he set a pattern of supporting one another. When we talk about black belts reaching out for help, this guy was #1 at going for help. John Karp of Woodrow Guitars sent us this guitar, which you put an iPad in. And he bought it and sent it to us, and there's actually a thing for it to hang right out around the corner here as you come in, which is where it'll hang. And the Erick James Award will be hung there. And Deming was kind of funny about awards. I'm not a big fan of them, of recognizing them. So the Deming Prize in Japan was done under some different rules. It was an open award. There can be nobody that gets it. There can be 100 people that get it. That's the way the Deming Prize goes. So it's not a matter of some win and some lose. He says then all you end up with is losers. You run an idea competition, 100 people submit, 1 wins, that means you have 99 losers. How do you want to have? Do you want to have 99 losers at your company? I don't think so. It's about helping those outside of your organization. It's an award that everybody in this room should get one day, just so we're clear. That's what we're looking for. The decision to get started on this was impossible to make, and I thought about different ways to do it, so I decided I would just make the decisions and I would take full responsibility for all the screw-ups. I just hope my decisions are useful. They're all wrong, but I hope they're useful. And there's an awful lot of people that can be here, and there will be many more of these that will go, and it will just celebrate this guy each year, this guy who, above all, his spirit is in this organization. The first one goes to Mr. John Muldoon. John Muldoon from Edrington believed like none others and has reached out and supported people. He has supported the research tools when there was no reason. He has supported tests when the systems were broken, when they didn't work, and he has pushed and pushed and pushed us into other areas. He connects with people around the world. He will always have the time to talk to people. But he's also very dedicated that we build systems that make a difference for everybody, and goes out of his way to do this. And he's taken this movement around the world. He couldn't be here this week because of a daughter's 16th birthday, which she said she would disown him if she wasn't there. So he took that pretty hard. But he did send me this note. He said, "Thank you for this, and I'm really sorry I can't be with you and the team this week. Please feel to share this email with everyone there. I'm truly honored to work with everyone involved with innovation engineering. It has always been stimulating and educational working with your team on our innovation projects, but the development of the IE system has taken this to another level. It is a total business mindset, not just a series of bespoke projects. The journey isn't always a smooth one, but I have never learned so much or developed so much by being part of the IE community. Steve Jobs famously said, you need to love it or be insane to persevere with innovation because it is so hard. I love the quote, and I use the video clip in most sessions. What I think he also meant, it is the right thing to do. We all deal with people that question the need for innovation, but in their hearts, most CEOs and board of directors know that innovation is a necessity. The challenge we have in the community is to continuously improve the system to make it the easy choice, not the risky or difficult choice. It is an honor to be connected with Eric and all the other people that have made IE so special. I look forward to seeing the new content and using the output from the conference on a project soon. take care and have a great conference. There is a light, and it never goes out, John. We will be getting, we don't have them yet, but there will be an award that will be sent to him. John Muldoon has the spirit of Erick James. Next up is, John's been in this movement. Yes. The next person is someone, so John's been doing this for a long time. The next person, I don't know how he finds the hours in the day. I get these messages, oh, I just spent 2 hours on the phone with him. Oh, I just spent an hour on the phone with him. And I know how busy he is with everything else, and I just don't understand how he can spend this many hours on the phone with people all over the planet. And not only that, but at the same time creating whole new things that can help the community and sharing them with the community. And that person is Mr. John Ferris. John and his wife Wendy, the box for putting the stuff together that you saw that I showed earlier for the sessions to get going, the breakfast sessions, the 1-hour breakfast sessions, I mean, without being asked, has created these things and is taking them out, gave a presentation here yesterday for a lot of our partners around the world, and unbelievable. And Erick, just like Erick would publish stuff out, these guys have published stuff out, and I don't know how he spends the time with all these people. John?
I just want to make one comment about Erick. Erick and I have been privileged to do an accelerator together. And I had never met him before, but I knew a lot about him. And that, I guess actually maybe we were together, I think a couple years ago, maybe a year and a half. But I learned so much from Erick in that, I guess, a couple days we spent together. So part of his spirit is definitely in us and what we do in Canada, as we're taking innovation engineering through the Canadian experience. So his spirit always resides in what we're doing as well. I'm so thankful to be part of the movement, and Erick's legacy will carry on.
And the last person came out of nowhere. Didn't even know what was going on. All of a sudden I get a note, and Corey says, what do you think about this? I said, what do you mean? What do you think about this? I said, oh, sounds like a great idea. And a person started doing something that will be changed. So famously, if you go down this wall, you'll see all these 2-bit celebrity pictures of cheeseball celebrities. And I always say that, and I like it because it's a work of art, because you get to see how they see themselves, because it's their picture, and it's when you're a 2-bit celebrity, this world happens. But I've always disliked the wall because most of these people are not really anybody that matters. Reading lines, I'm sorry, just doesn't matter. And our society doesn't do it. That wall is about to be replaced, and it's going to be replaced with the work of Ms. Karla Brown. Karla took it upon herself to start writing the stories of the black belts. And you see them in the posts, and they're going to start going up there, and we're going to slowly but surely have real celebrities on the wall, not the fake celebrities. The people who are on the front lines, taking the arrows, getting beaten up, but she took it upon herself to write the stories behind the stories of these people and what they went through, and I got to tell you, when they come, I have to sit, and there's a couple times when I cry when I read them. And she writes them, and she just tells the spirit of what this movement is about, which is related to when we changed the mission. It's Kevin's mom said, You have to change the people before you change the organization. And this is a movement for all of our technology and all of that stuff. It's about people, and it's about you. And you, my dear, have told that story with beauty. Everybody's got wings. We will change the world. But so that you're clear, it is a community that is making this happen. You might be the front of this thing, and I might be the front person who provokes and cajoles. But I am humbled to be with you and what you've done. And your faith when there was no reason to have faith, and your passion for the mission. And I can tell you this, we're crappy, we'll be less crappy next year, I promise. And we'll continue to do it. But the reason we will do that is because of you. And the strength of this movement is the strength of what Erick James is. Erick James lives in this movement in that unselfish, helping one another when you're in the middle of a mess, or when you can't figure out a way to keep going, that voice that can listen and that can talk. And that's what we're looking to do. New things that Maggie will talk about is going to make that collaboration better. There's going to be communities, and so you've seen us push out Brain Brew, communities and that, but our intent is not to have those be the primary ones, but we will self-form our own communities of CEOs and leadership and different people and different communities. As the guy said, we must all hang together, or most assuredly we'll all hang separately. Yes, sir?
Always with humor.
Have a sense of humor. That helps too. So,